Hello, dear students. I hope you all are fine and well. I am Professor Jinesh Shah, Faculty of Management subject. Again, here with presenting one new video for Human Resource Management, BCom Semester 1, Unit 4, Chapter 2, Quality of Work Life. Through this video, we are going to introduce meaning and characteristics of quality of work life, conditions for quality of work life, guiding principles of improving quality of work life, advantages and limitations of quality of work life, strategies for improving quality of work life, and human resource management activities and its effect on quality of work life. So these are the titles we are going to deal with. Let us go with the meaning and characteristics of quality of work life. So as far as meaning is concerned, Luthan says that the overriding purpose of quality of work life is to change the climate at work so that the human technological organizational interface leads to a better quality of work life. According to Nedler and Lohr, quality work life is a way of thinking about people, work, and organizations. Its distinctive elements are: first, a concern about the impact of work on people as well as on organizational effectiveness, and second, the idea of participation in organizational problem solving and decision making. Let us go with the different characteristics of quality of work life. Compensation according to work, changes in the work, to maintain self respect, to promote development, to provide required facility, to provide proper physical environment, to decrease industrial fatigue, to decrease industrial accidents, consider human as an assets. So these are the various characteristics of quality of work life. Let us go with the second title, conditions for quality of work life. So adequate and fair compensation. As far as salary structure is concerned, it must be adequate and fair. Adequate and fair in the sense, according to the qualifications, according to the quality of work, according to the output of the employer, the remuneration should get paid. Here, Payment of Wages Act 1936 and Minimum Wages Act 1948 will be imparted. It should be clearly understood that for quality work life, cash payment is not the only answer. However, certain other benefits will also be the part of the salary. However, hefty salaries are being paid to the knowledge workers they can meet their basic and higher level needs for improving their quality work life. So this is what is about the adequate and fair compensation. Safe and healthy working conditions. So in accordance with the Factories Act 1948, contains a number of provisions relating to safety and health of employees. Employers are increasingly trying to provide better working conditions to their workers as compared to their competitors. Flexi hour of works, zero risk physical condition of work, and safety against noise, pollution, and fume gases, etc. So these are the various examples of provision which the company has been provided for the safety and under the title of safety and healthy working conditions. Next, opportunity to use and develop human capacities. The quality of work life will be better if the jobs allow sufficient autonomy and controls to its employees. The workers must be given an opportunity to use their skills, abilities. Means here the workers must be provided the opportunities so that they can get developed and they can give their best output. Opportunity to growth and security. When employees are offered opportunities to grow in an organization by providing promotion ladder, it helps in improving the quality of work life. There is an inner desire in every employee for career progression. Everyone wants to grow, everyone wants to develop. So if the job is dead end, it must be made clear to the employee at the outset. means if this is the last stage, it must be acknowledged to that employee. Next, social integration in the work organization. So an employee develops a sense of belongingness to the organization where he works. Discrimination among the employees on the basis of age, gender, caste, career, religion, etc. should not be activated, should not be done. Constitution in the work organization. Every employee should be entitled to some privileges such as personal privacy, right to expression, right to equitable treatment, etc. So means fair and equivalent treatment to each and every level of workers must be provided. It is their expectations. This should be governed by certain rules and regulations. In short, there should be the rule of law as per the constitutions of the enterprise. Work and total lifespan. Certain employees are required to work for late hours or are frequently transferred or have to do a lot of traveling as a part of their duty. This definitely affect their quality work life because they are feeling that why should I have to do this type of activity on regular basis? Why the other workers are not been forced or imparted this activity? So it will give definitely negative impact in their minds. So this definitely affect their quality work life as they remain away from their families for a long period of time. Social relevance of work life. Those business enterprises which are engaged in discharging their social responsibilities contribute to quality work life. If a concern does not care for social obligations, the employees of such organizations cannot expect a better quality work life. Low quality products, no control on pollution, bad employment practices are indicators of lower level of quality work life. Let us go with the third title, Guiding Principles of Improving Quality of Work Life. So next is Guiding Principles of Improving Quality Work Life. Which are the principles, which are the guidance will be imparted so that to get the improvement in the quality of work life has been discussed here. First, adequate and fair compensation. So this implies a just and fair balance between efforts and rewards. Mean if the person is more efforting for work, more reward should be payable. If less efforts, less reward. So it includes proper job evaluation, training to perform the job, ability of the organization to pay and profit sharing. In India, Minimum Wages Act 1948 was passed to prevent the exploitation of labor, and the Payment of Wages Act 1936 was passed to prevent unauthorized deduction of wages. So these two acts have been introduced. Second title, Safe and Healthy Working Conditions. As if we have been gone through to improve the quality of working life, the work environment should be congenial and free from hazard detrimental to health and safety of workers. Reasonable working hours, zero risk physical conditions of work and age restriction on lower side ensures good work environment. In India, Factories Act 1948 is taking care of this situation, and this is adequate here. Adequate provisions have been provided under this act regarding the health, safety and welfare of the workers. Immediate opportunity to use and develop human capacities. The factory work today has become repetitive, fragmented and lifeless. The workers respond mechanically to the demand of machine without much control on them. Quality of working life will be improved if the job allows sufficient autonomy and control. So here immediate opportunity will be provided, different conditions will be optioned, and quality of working life will be improved through different activities. Next, opportunity for continued growth and security. Here each and every worker requires or they wants or they desire continuous growth as well as security of their job. They have certain expectations that their designation, their salary will get improved after this duration, after this duration or etc. on such basis. So here the focus is on career opportunity as against the job. What type of opportunities are available to develop new abilities and skills to avoid obsolescence? The employee is eager to know whether the newly acquired skill could be put to some use and thereby lead to personal growth and security or not. Next is social integration in the work organization. So one of the objective of quality of working life is to generate satisfying identify with the organization and develop a feeling of self-esteem. So here again, as per the rules and regulations, as per the common fundamental, any business is existed due to society. So here if any business wants to maintain the sustainability for longer duration of time, they have to be very much social. They have to maintain social relationship. So the factors which include these feelings are openness and trust, opportunity for upward mobility, a sense of community feeling on the job, and equal opportunity for all irrespective of caste, creed, gender and religion. This must not be taken into consideration while here the equivalent or here the comparison among the workers are being observed or are being analyzed. Caste, gender, religion, creed, it will not be taken into consideration. Next, constitutionalization in the work organization. The government or governance by the rule of law is necessary, means whatever the rules and regulations under different act, under different law has been made mandatory, it must get followed by the organization. Work and the total lifespan. The demand of the work life, late hours, frequent travel and transfer in society very costly to the employee and his family. Such even definitely depress the quality of working life. Means due to the work condition, if the expenses to maintain that job duty is being increased for any employee, they will get depressed. They will not be in the position so that to meet up the regular and routine expenditure. The social relevance of work life. The organization's lack of concern for social responsibilities like low quality products, disgrade for population, bad employment practices make workers depreciate. Means here if this is the situation, the workers will not be ready in such organization. So it must be avoided. Next, advantages of quality of work life. So why the quality of work life is important? What is the advantages? What can be the improved matters? It has been discussed here. Enhance stakeholder relation and credibility, increase productivity, attraction and retention, reduce absenteeism, improve the quality of working lives, matches people who would not otherwise work with jobs, benefiting families and communities, job involvement, job satisfaction, company reputation. So these are the various advantages. Let us go in detail. First, enhance stakeholder relations and credibility. So a growing number of companies that focus on quality work life improve their relationship with the stakeholders. Stakeholders indicates shareholders, suppliers or any categorized of investors. They can communicate their views, policies and performance on complex social issues and develop interest among their key stakeholders like consumers, suppliers, employees, etc. Next, increase productivity. Programs which help employees balance their work and lives outside the work can improve productivity. A company's recognition and support through its stated values and policies of employees, commitments, interests and pressures can relieve employees' external stress. Here, if the employees are been providing certain facilities which can help to make the improvement in the output along with reduction in stress, then in such scenario, after all the company will be there in the beneficiary stage, and because due to this provision of certain facilities, the productivity will get increased. It may be of possibility that the qualitative and quantitative both productivity will get increased. Attraction and retention. Work life strategies have become a means of attracting new skilled employees and keeping existing ones satisfied. Many job seekers prefer flexible working hours. Definitely, let's for an example IT industry. They are been expecting flexible working hours. They are been providing, they are been facilitating the expected or the flexible working hours. Many job seekers prefer flexible working hours as the benefit they would look for in their job. They would rather have the opportunity to work flexible hours than receive an additional increment in annual pay. So, certain mentalities of the workers have been presented here. Reduces absenteeism. Companies that have family friendly or flexible work practices have low absenteeism because now the workers are ready and the companies are providing the time flexibility on which the workers are feeling convenient. Sickness rates fall as pressures are managed better. Employees have better method of dealing with work life conflicts than taking unplanned leave. Second title is workers or including the managers who are healthy and not over stressed are more efficient at work. Means the person who is not taking any stress and keep remaining healthy, they can manage their work very effectively and efficiently. Improve the quality of working lives. Minimizing work life role conflicts helps prevent role overload and people have a more satisfying working life, fulfilling their potential both in paid work and outside it. Work life balance can minimize stress and fatigue at work, enabling people to have safer and healthier working lives. Workplace stress and fatigue can contribute to injuries at work and home. Means if here minimum stress and fatigue will be provided at working condition and working place, then the mental situation of the worker will be maintained at good level, and if the mental situation can be maintained at good level, it indicates positive output among the workers so that to get improved amount of output. Self-employed people control their own work time to some extent. Most existing information on work-life balance is targeted at those in employment relationship. So here self-employed people, likewise doctors or self-practicing doctors, self-practicing chartered accountants or etc., they have the opportunity, they have the chance to maintain the flexibility in the working condition and working area, and they are having chance to balance their life as far as social and the office or professional life is concerned. They have the chance as compared to job holders. Next, matches people who would not otherwise work with jobs. So parents, people with disabilities and those nearing retirement may increase their workforce participation if more flexibility, definitely if more flexibility will be provided, they will be very much happy. Employment has positive individual and social benefits beyond the financial rewards. So after certain age, every worker is not depending or every worker is not expecting only and only financial reward. Apart from that financial reward, they are also expecting, they are also demanding flexibility in working time duration. So it is like that. Next, benefiting families and communities. So, in a situation of conflict between work and family, one or other suffers. But otherwise, apart from this, if the flexibility of working condition is been provided, then the worker will not be there in the situation so that to have selection. They are not been there in the situation that either select job or select family life. They won't be having that much level of situation. Quality work life maintain balance between work and family. At the extreme, if family life suffers, this may have wider social cost. Involvement in community cultures means as far as social benefit is concerned, as far as common society advantages and cultural beneficiaries are concerned, it will be considered as it can be a benefit to society and community at a large. For instance, voluntary participation in school board of trustee can contribute to the quality of children's education. So it is like that. Job involvement. Companies with quality work life have employees with high degree of job involvement. Definitely they will more be involved with the job, they will more be interested in the job, they will more be enthusiastic for the job. They achieve a sense of competence and match their performance and skills with requirement of the job. They view their jobs as satisfying the needs of achievement and recognition. With this reduces absenteeism. If workers are happy, why they are being absent? It is not having any option or any reason so that the worker is being absent, though the quality work life is been providing. It is not like that. Definitely job satisfaction will be there. If quality of work life is been providing, then in such scenario, the job satisfaction among the workers will be generated. So job involvement leads to job commitment and job satisfaction, and more satisfaction or more satisfied workers will be providing more output along with quality. Next is company reputation. Many organizations, including governments, NGOs, investors, and the media, consider the quality of employee experiences in the workplace when evaluating a company. Social responsibilities or social responsible investors, including some institutional investors, pay specific attention to quality work life so that to maintain their level of output, so that to maintain their level of productivity. It is also having certain amount of limitations too. Let us go with that. Limitations of quality of work life. Both union and management open themselves to substantial risk. The union may pursue joint activities as a means by which it intend to do them in. The management may pursue joint activities as an intention to diluting its ability to manage and a means by which the union will acquire more power. The middle management may find it difficult to believe the benefits of quality work life and may perceive that the management is becoming soft and giving in to union dominance. Means they will also feel that management does not have any power, any planning, anything so that they can manage. It is like that. Let us go with these strategies for improving quality work life. Which are the different strategies so that to be maintained by the organization in the level of improvement as far as quality of work life is concerned. First, reward and recognition. So if the person is doing well, if the person is providing better output, then they will be providing financial or non-financial reward also. Here the reward does not always mean only and only financial in the terms. It also terms non-financial rewards too. Growth opportunity will also be provided. Growth opportunity in the sense the designation improvement, salary improvement, responsibility improvement, etc. So it will also be provided to the workers, the person who is doing well in the organization. Respect and boosting self-esteem. Whatever the status, people equally need respect. A good manager respects people at all level. In turn, they will always try to prove him right by doing whatever is necessary. In 1989, a pacemaker manufacturing company had initiated a major organizational improvement program involving quality teams. Vision and get supported. Commitment cannot be achieved if the people do not know commitment towards that. So organization and its leaders must providing a compelling vision of the future to the employees. People will act if they can visualize what they are supposed to achieve. An effective leader will motivate people by giving them a vision of that they can become and how they can transform their organization. People are vision directed. After that, mutual commitment. In order to get support from employees, employers should initiate it. So here the person who is providing the job, they have to start initialization, and in response to them they can expect positive response from employees also. Employers should initiate it in terms of leadership by example of or self commitment. They should provide proper tools and equipments, adequate training and other inputs needed by the people for successfully performing their jobs. Good working environment must be provided because workers are ready or mentally fit if the working condition and working environment is better. But if chaotic situation is been generating on regular basis as far as working environment is concerned, working place is concerned, no worker will be termed or no worker will be ready with that organization so that to do the job for longer duration of time. Empowerment, if we talk about, it means giving people the power, authority, freedom and responsibility to carry out their job. So here the employees will be provided opportunities, they will be provided the power, they will be provided the responsibility that like this is the task, do it by your own, this is the expected output from the management, try to do it, try to achieve it with your own methods, with your own ideas, with your own ideologies. It is like that. Hiring the right people. One of the worst mistake companies can make is hiring wrong people with negative attitude, low job competence, who do not meet the requirement of the job. So as for the scientific recruitment also, it considers that if the recruitment is done on right time, right job, right place, right number, then and only then the vision and mission can be accomplished by the organization. So here also it will be implied right people hiring is the compulsion. Work and life balance, as if we have been gone through in the previous question, quality of work life, that the social life and professional life must be balanced. At the cost of social life, the professional life can't be enriched or should not be enriched. Simultaneously, at the cost of professional life, social life should not be enriched. Out of the way help. One of the highly appreciated things, especially in Eastern culture, is out of the way help people receive from their employers and managers. Depending on situation, things like visiting employees when they are sick, attending their relatives' wedding, means this is the formal social relationship they are trying to maintain, they are trying to develop with the employees. Like attending the social functions of the employee, taking care of the employees as far as sickness is concerned, etc. So it is the out of the way help, it can be said as. Let us go with the HRM activities and its effect on quality of work life. Job analysis helps to recruit right man on right job, selection of right person at right place. Job evaluation helps comparison of one job with another and justify wages. Job enrichment helps or it includes new methods, techniques with prestige. Job security, it helps employees for better concentration. Balance between authority and responsibility. Due to this, better balance between powers and responsibility will be maintained. Job environment helps or it includes necessary comfort. Manpower planning, it emphasizing So through the way of manpower planning, it emphasizing the requirement of various category of manpower, career guidance, employees' talent and capabilities or capacities are being used. Job enlargement, it adds the functions of some level in the same level in original function. So that's all, dear students. Thank you very much.